Tonight on Season Pass.
It was a busy week for Angelo State athletics. The Rams welcomed St. Edward's to town while the Bells competed for a Lone Star Conference championship. All the highlights from Tyler coming your way. We also have highlights from the high school baseball diamond, and we catch up with the Central Gymnastics teams. All this and more tonight. Season Pass starts right now.
Season Pass is sponsored by Kent Elliott Roofing.
Hello, Concho Valley, and happy Easter. Welcome to Season Pass. I'm your host, Ryan Reynolds, and we have a loaded show tonight filled with Angelo State and high school sports. The Bells volleyball team competed in the Lone Star Conference tournament this past week, while Rams baseball, although dropped in the national rankings, showed everyone that rankings are just a number. Back to the Bells, though. They beat Midwestern State at the Janelle Center in the LSC quarterfinals, then had to travel to Tyler to continue that championship run, and in front of them in the semifinals was Texas A&M Kingsville. Bells and Javelinas meet for the first time this season, and it would take 5. No, not the candy bar. We mean 5 sets, and that's where we start. Bailey Allen with the block for the Bells. A little later, Lindsay Ledyard. She earned all-tournament honors. Backs it up for Kaylin Gilbreth, who hammers it down for one of her team-high 14 kills. More from ASU, more from Gilbreth. Another back set from Ledyard. 34 assists for her as Gilbreth sends that one to the floor. Javelinas, though, staying in it. They made it tough for the Bells. Ledyard sets up Sophia Berg this time, who hits it just inside the line. ASU up 7-5, match point. Allen serving it to advance. Kingsville sets it up, but Berg is there to deny him, sending the Bells to the LSC title game with a 15-12 fifth set triumph and a hard-fought 3-set victory. Thrilling wins like that can carry teams extremely far. That win over Texas A&M Kingsville showed everyone that the Bells can fight with their backs against the wall. However, Angelo took on a tough, undefeated UT Tyler team in the championship game. Angelo State looking to win back-to-back LSC tournament crowns, taking on the host 12th-ranked UT Tyler. Second set, Kaylin Gilbreth sets up Nalia Gordon for the kill. UT Tyler, though, trying to respond. But Bailey Allen, the brick wall, gets the block. That falls in for the point. Lindsay Ledyard, she, like I said, was one of 3 Bells to earn all-tournament honors. Sends one to the corner. That's Delaney Fuller. She hammers one home. And a little later, check out this great dig by Fuller. An athletic play from her. Ledyard sets it to Sophia Berg. She gets the kill, one of her 14 on the night. Angelo State wins set 2, 25-19 to tie it at 1 set apiece. UT Tyler, though, came back and won the 3rd set. Bells force the 5th, and they can win it all right here. Ledyard to Elsa Lampier. She hits it just inside the back line to win the set 15-11. Bells win the match 3-2. They're the conference tournament champions. Here's head coach Chuck Waddington.
We had something to compete for, you know, and we push that every single day in the fall, knowing that it's a weird, you know, COVID-type pandemic season. We had something to play for, and that's what my team thrived on throughout the whole thing. It means they're committed to a championship standard. You know, we talk about it all the time in our gym. This is how we want to compete. We have to execute when it matters most, and we made plays down the stretch, you know. I mean, the sets that we won, we made plays. The sets that they won, they made the plays. You know, it really could have went either way, but my team, they just made a few more plays in the end.
And when you win a championship, there's plenty of postseason honors to go around. Lindsay Ledyard, Sophia Berg, and Kaylin Gilbreth earned all tournament honors for their efforts in the Bells championship run. Gilbreth was named tournament MVP. She was also named the AVCA National Division II Player of the Week. Angelo State will make a run towards the national championship at the AVCA Women's Division II National Championship Tournament starting April 14th in Dallas. The annual David Noble Relays wrapped up late Friday night at LeGrand Stadium, and both the 4th-ranked Rams and 7th-ranked Ram Bells got the job done. Angelo State swept both the men's and women's team titles. The Ram Bells won the team race with 168.5 points, while the Rams collected 212.5 points. 20 of the 23 national marks recorded yesterday by ASU are in the conference top 10, while 16 of those national are ranked within the top 10 of Division II. Both teams will head to San Antonio on April 9th for the Incarnate Word Invite. The Angelo State tennis team sits at number 11 in the nation, which is the highest ranking ever for the 6-year-old program. The Bells played their first 2 Lone Star Conference matches at home over the weekend, defeating St. Mary's on Friday 5-2, then beating Texas A&M Kingsville yesterday 6-1. Angelo State is 4-0 in conference, 9-3 on the season. They'll take a 6-match win streak on the road to Dallas Baptist this Friday. A lot of winning for Angelo State this past week, but what about the Rams baseball team? They hosted St. Edwards in a 3-game series. We have the highlights after the break. Stay with us.
The Businessmen's Bible class is not just for men. Come, sit, have a cup of coffee, and worship with us Sunday mornings at 9:45 a.m. every Sunday in the Recreation Room at Rio Concho Manor. The Businessmen's Bible class wants to share Jesus' love for you, help you to feel more connected to God and fellow Christians. For over 50 years, the Businessmen's Bible class has been sharing the Word with St. Angelo, and they invite you this Sunday to share the Word, fellowship, and maybe a couple of donuts too. The Businessmen's Bible class, where you are a stranger, but once.
At Diersky & Diersky Realtors, we know that buying or selling a home can be stressful. That's why we have assembled a team of agents that have over 250 years of combined real estate sales experience. You'll get personal service from a friendly and knowledgeable agent who understands the latest trends and market conditions for our area. Whether you're looking for commercial or residential, classic or modern, you'll find in-depth information that will help you find the perfect property to meet all your needs. At Diersky & Diersky, we realize you're not just looking for a house, you're looking for a home.
Welcome to Quilting Quarters, San Angelo's authorized Bernina dealership for sewing, embroidery, and quilting machines. We also offer quality fabrics, notions, and supplies for the quilting and embroidery community. Quilting Quarters is home to 2 on-site sewing machine technicians to clean, adjust, and repair all brands of sewing and embroidery machines. We hope you'll come by soon to browse our selection of machines, fabrics, and supplies. We're located at 2124 West Beauregard in the Village Shopping Center.
Do you have roof damage? Call the experts at Kent Elliott Roofing. You want your roof done right, and you want it done now before there's any more damage. At Kent Elliott Roofing, we will return your call in 24 hours or less and get to work to protect your home. We complete most roofs within 2 weeks. For all your roofing needs, stay local. Call the team that's been taking care of the Concho Valley since 1966. Call Kent Elliott Roofing, 325-655-2800.
Welcome back to Season Pass. The 11th ranked Angelo State baseball team has been almost untouchable at home this season, sporting a perfect 11-0 record. They're second in the Lone Star Conference, and they kicked off a 3-game series against St. Edwards Thursday night. Angelo State taking on St. Edwards in game 1 of 3. Can they stay perfect at Foster Field? Top of the 3rd, Morgan Allen hits a solo homer down the left field line. That would tie the game at 1 apiece. Then in the 5th, we see Allen at the plate again for an RBI single. Davis Druick will touch home. That gives the Hilltoppers a 2-1 lead. Then in the bottom of the frame, Rams ready to respond. Parker Bramlett singles to right. Jackson Hardy will come in to score. ASU ties the game at 2 apiece. And in the bottom of the 7th, the Rams pull through. Hardy steals 3rd. The catcher would overthrow it. Hardy comes around to score, and that gives the Rams a 3-2 lead. They wouldn't surrender it from there. Angelo State picks up a win in game 1, 5-2. How will ASU fare in game 2? Looking for the series win Saturday. The Rams have won 4 of the last 5 meetings against the Hilltoppers. Trent Baker on the mound, and take a look at that snag in the top of the 4th. Gets the out at first. Now in the bottom half of the inning, Reese Johnson chops a 2-run RBI. Jordan Williams and Kobe Kelton come in to put the Rams up 3-2. Then in the 5th, Josh Elvire, he likes to hit home runs, and he gets all of that out to center field. Elvire's 6th homer of the season. ASU extends their lead to 4-2. He's slowly creeping up on that career LSC home run record. We'll certainly keep an eye on that. Staying in the 5th, Kobe Kelton drives one all the way into right field for an RBI. Aaron Walters comes in to score. The Rams would end up winning 14-2 and improve to 13-0 at home. Which brings us to the series finale. Parker Bramlett and the Rams hoping to close out the Hilltoppers and pick up their 4th series sweep of the season. Bottom of the 1st, Josh Elvire doesn't mean to make contact here, but take a look at this. The senior is going to hustle his way all the way to third after a throwing error. And you can't make mistakes like that against a good baseball team like Angelo State. Very next batter, Jordan Williams, taps one to short. Elvire scores off the hesitation. Angelo State has scored first in 12 of its 22 games this season. They're in front 1-0. St. Edwards, though, worked Ben Elder to a bit of a jam in the top of the second. Kyler Curlin sends it to right. Blake Hullab evens things at 1. But this Rams team, they average 12 runs per game. And you got to get that popcorn ready whenever Elvire is at the dish. Bottom third, and he just crushes one over the wall in center field, almost identical to the one he hit in the last highlight tape. 3-1 Rams. Elvire is now just 8 home runs shy of breaking the career LSC record. And that bomb opened the floodgates, folks. A little later, Aaron Walters is going to slap one into right. Jordan Williams scores all the way from first. The Rams, they pick up the win 8-3. Elvire finished 3 for 4 with 2 home runs in 4 RBIs. Angelo State is 15-3 in the Lone Star Conference. And we mentioned that for a reason. That 15-3 mark is the second best in the LSC, only behind that team, 6th-ranked West Texas A&M. Angelo State will have an opportunity to gain some ground in the standings this week against the Buffs. The two will meet in Canyon for a 3-game series starting Friday. First pitch for that one set for 7 p.m. And then over on the pitch, the 10th-ranked Angelo State Bells are division champs, finishing the season with a 7-0 record. It's their first title since 2018, and they finally know their matchup for the Lsc Tournament Quarterfinals. The top-seeded Bells will host 5th seed St. Mary's on Tuesday at 7 p.m. The first meeting between these two teams was filled with drama. ASU edged out the Rattlers 2-1 in overtime on their way to that perfect regular season. The winner of this one will face either Lubbock Christian or St. Edwards in the semifinals on April 10th. And then staying with the Bells, Angelo State keeper Kyra Miller was named the Lone Star Conference Goalie of the Week for her efforts in the Bells' 5-0 win over Texas A&M International on Wednesday. The junior goalie picked up 6 saves in her clean sheet performance in 118 minutes this season. Miller has not allowed a goal, facing 9 shots. Overall, Angelo State has been stellar defensively, allowing an LSC low 2 goals this season. The Angelo Football Coaching Clinic announced their return to an in-person clinic this summer. The 47th clinic will be held June 17th to the 19th at the Janelle Center at Angelo State. This year's speakers are headlined by big names like newly named Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian, former Texans head coach, now Alabama offensive coordinator Bill O'Brien, Baylor head coach Dave Aranda, and the man himself, Wade Phillips, the former high school, college, and NFL coach. There's a lot of knowledge to be gained at this event. To register, log on to the Angelo Clinic website. Hey, don't go away. When we return, we'll take a look at some high school baseball and softball. Plenty of action this week in the Concho Valley. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Well, I noticed some of my foundation, it had some cracks in it and it was crumbling out. And it had been that way for a while. And my son was doing some research and he said, Mom, call this man. And I said, okay. And I mean, right away they came, they looked, they said, yeah, we can fix this. He didn't try to tell me that I needed more than what I needed. You know, that speaks to his quality of work and how much his business and his customers mean to him.
Here at DQ, we always treat you right. Our famous soft serve, loaded with your favorite toppings, is happiness on a spoon. From super sundaes to delicious dipped cones to Blizzard Bliss. Hungry for more? We're also serving up the best burgers, baskets, and crunchy tacos around. For the best treats and eats in Texas, nobody treats you like DQ. DQ, that's what I like about Texas.
Patriotic.
Innovative.
Dependable.
Family values.
Faith. Trustworthy. Ethical.
Community-minded.
Loyalty. Honesty.
Diverse.
Friendly. Committed. Punctual. Customer service.
These are the values on which we build Bug Express.
Mom, we are honored to carry on your legacy.
Welcome to Rio Concho Terrace, where residents have peace of mind knowing they are truly cared for.
This is definitely the best place for your loved ones.
Rio Concho Terrace gives me and my family a strong sense of security, and I love it here.
Come join the Terrace family, where you're spoiled by the staff and other residents. My dad was truly blessed to live here.
Retirement living the way it should be.
Welcome back, everyone. Texas high school baseball releases its pro diamond rankings every week. And out of the Concho Valley teams, the Wall Hawks continue to be the lone representative in the Texas high school baseball coaches poll. The Hawks rose 2 spots to number 20 in last week's edition. The Hawks sit at 5-1 in District 6-3A. Fellow district rival Jim Ned stays as the number 2 team in 3A baseball. And those state-ranked Hawks hosted TLCA in district action last Tuesday. Scoreless in the bottom of the first. Bases loaded for Reed Decker. He hits it into left. 2 runs come in to score on the RBI double. Hawks in front 2-0. Same inning, same score. Will Schur hits one to second. It can't be handled. Another Hawk comes in to score off the air. 3-0 Wall. 2 more runs came in on a balk and a walk. Kelton Bowman brings Schur home on the single coming up here. Wall led it 6-0 after 2 innings. They go on to get the big win over TLCA, 15-0. Over to District 2-6A, 4th place Central hosting 3rd place Friendship. The Bobcats in some trouble, down 2-1 in the top of the 4th. Runners on 2nd and 3rd for Friendship. This isn't good. Jake Sherrard skips it into center, clears the bases. Friendship extends its lead 4-1, and they wouldn't slow down. A few batters later, Colden Kaiser's going to add another run, sends one into left. Friendship scored 6 runs in the top of the 4th to really bust things open. Central not able to rally after that. They fall 11-6. Central is now 3-5 in district play. Lakeview hosting Snyder in 3-4A action. The Chiefs, with only 9 games left on the schedule this season, just flying by. The Chiefs skating early in this one, already up 2-0. Cody High sends one into the outfield. He ends up on second with a double. Wyatt Henry now at the plate with a chance to bring him home. Punches the ball to left. High, in fact, does come in to score. Lakeview extends its lead to 3-0. The Chiefs would add more base runners in the inning. But here's Snyder's Leroy Tavares gets Nicholas Bustamante swinging to get out of the inning. However, Lakeview kept the Tigers' bats at bay as the Chiefs walk away with a 5-0 shutout win. Lakeview improves to 2-5 in district. And then on the softball diamond, the Central Lady Cats were once ranked number 2 in the state. However, after a rough 3-game losing streak, Central has really had to dig deep during this middle part of their district schedule. And they're starting to find that spark once again. The Lady Cats hosting Abilene High last week. Central got off to a hot start in the first inning. Ali Talamentez singled to short. And then a few batters later, check out this swing. Riley Din hits a grounder to second. Allie will come in to score. The Lady Cats are up 1-0 in the first. Then in the 4th, the Lady Eagles would finally get the opportunity to respond. Brianna Baharis would send a solo shot over the center field fence to tie the game at 1. Now in the bottom of the 4th, Taylor Martin knocks one off the center field wall. Now would bring in Samantha Howell, putting Central up 2-1. But the Lady Cats were not done in the 4th. McKenna McKillen finds herself a gap. That brings in Taylor Martin. 3-1 Lady Cats. Ashton McMillan at the plate. She also drives in a run as Central picks up the win 4-1. On the pitch, the high school soccer playoffs continued last week with area round action. Things didn't go too well for the Lakeview Maidens. Their stellar season comes to an end with a 5-0 loss to Canyon. The Maidens finished the season with a district championship and a by-district round gold ball. The Lady Cats season also came to an end last week, falling in a heartbreaker 1-0 to Keller High School in 6A Region 1. Central finished the year runner-up in District 2-6A and with a by-district round gold ball. The District 2-6A track and field meet wrapped up Thursday night with the track event finals, and team champions were crowned. The Central Bobcats entered the final day in 4th place, but after a few top 3 finishes, the boys team took home 3rd with a total of 107 points. Abilene and Midland Lee finished ahead of the Bobcats. In terms of finishes, the Central boys really did a good job in the relays. The Bobcats grabbed gold and bronze in the 4x400 and 4x100 meter relays. Andreas Diaz placed first in the 400 meter dash. Tyler Hill finishing with the bronze. Raven Ortiz picked up a silver in triple jump. On the girls' side, the Lady Cats fell a few spots and finished 4th with 93 points. Friendship taking the crown with 150 points. And just like the boys, the Lady Cats excelling in the relays with 2 second-place finishes. Arden F secured a gold in the 300-meter hurdles. For all the full individual placings, head over to ConchoValleyHomepage.com. Coming up on Season Pass, the Central Gymnastics teams competed in the 2-6A championships, and history was made. We catch up with the Bobcats and Lady Cats after the break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
It's the home makeover sale at Furniture Row. Find sale prices on every sofa, every dining table, and every bed. Plus 4 years no interest financing and free shipping. The home makeover sale on now at Furniture Row.
Who likes ordering exactly what they want while saving money?
Everyone.
Suddenlink Business Your Way lets you customize your bundle of 300 meg speed secure internet.
That's fast.
And save when you add smart Wi-Fi, mobile, and premier technical support. It's internet with security built right in for just $84.95 a month for 1 year and a $100 Visa prepaid card on us. Save with your custom bundle of services from Suddenlink Business Your Way.
Serious savings.
Call or visit suddenlinkbusiness.com today.
It's our way of life. It's a love of family, your land, and your history. It's how you treat people. It's deep-seated roots, a heritage that lives on in the way we work and play. We are West Texas. Angelo Pellets has been taking care of farmers, ranchers, and hunters since 1963. Give them a call and let them take care of you.
Baseball, golf ball, grape, or pea size. They all mean one thing at Jim Bass, a hail sale. A little hail means big savings for you. Get a new 2021 Ford F-150 Crew Cab 4x4 STX, just $36,900. Or a new 2021 Ford Ranger STX, just $22,900. Don't miss our 2021 hail sale going on now. Jim Bass Cars and Trucks, Houston Hart and Arden Road, or shop 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Tempur-Pedic's mission is to give you truly transformative sleep. And that's why Tempur-Pedic has been ranked #1 in customer satisfaction by J.D. Power 2 years in a row.
Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
Welcome back to Season Pass. You can't talk about dominant high school sports programs without mentioning the Central Girls Gymnastics team. The Lady Cats have won 10 of the last 15 state titles, and 2 weeks ago they claimed their 20th straight district championship. Central Girls Gymnastics has been a dominant force in Texas since the 1970s. Kids grow up wanting to compete for the Lady Cats. It's a culture built on winning, and this year's district title holds a special meaning.
Our seniors last year didn't get the opportunity to do district regionals and state, so me being the only senior this year, our whole team's kind of emphasizing us trying to do our best this year for the seniors that didn't get the opportunity last year. Us having like 5 months off this past year, it's made us have to work like 10 times harder to get back to where we were.
A lot of these girls watch what we do since they're young and want to be on the high school gymnastics team if they're doing gymnastics. They have a tradition to live up to, and we talk about tradition all the time, so we're just going to try to keep on keeping on and win another one, hopefully.
The Cats have won the last 2 state championships. They'll compete in the regional meets starting April 9th. On the boys' side, the Central Bobcats snapped a 6-year drought with their first district title since 2015. The Bobcats, who are ranked #3 in the state, recorded a 2-day total of 319.2 and scored their highest optional score of the season, all without one of their key seniors. Like every sports program, it's been a strange year for the Bobcats, but it's about pushing through, reaching new heights, and hey, maybe learning some life lessons along the way.
It was nice. We've been battling for district title for a while. It's been a good group, and I'm just excited that they got a district title. So I'm proud for them.
Yeah, that felt really good. I mean, this is an accumulation of 5 years with these guys now. Since 8th grade, we've been together. This year, we finally were able to pull it together.
It's about perseverance. Life isn't easy. And that's one thing gymnastics or any sport can teach you, especially in this day and time. You look at the situation, you deal with it, figure a way to do your best. That's been my message to them all year.
How you sleep sets your entire life in motion.
So live your best life by getting your best sleep on a Doctor's Choice mattress. The perfect combination of support and comfort.
In fact, I've been recommending it to my patients for over 20 years.
Visit us in-store or online and discover all the benefits of Doctor's Choice, only at Denver Mattress.
For expert service in plumbing and new construction, call 3D's Plumbing, 653-4975, or click on the Expert tab at ConchoValleyHomepage.com.
Hi, I'm Mike with MGB, Mike's Gold Buyers. Gold and silver prices are terrific, which means more money for your gold, silver, and diamonds. Come to MGB and you'll say,
I sold gold and I like Mike.
On Avenue N by Angelo State.
Welcome back to Season Pass. Top 5 plays in the Concho Valley, starting at Foster Field with Angelo State baseball. This is something you don't see every day. Josh Elvire accidentally makes contact, but check this out. The senior from Kemis is somehow going to end up on third thanks to a throwing error. Pretty wild play and a pretty crazy series statistically for Elvire. In the sweep of St. Edwards, he hit a .636 with 7 RBIs and 3 home runs. Number 4, staying on the diamond. Take a look at this. Superman playing in center field for the Rams. No, guys, that's just Jackson Hardy doing what he does best. Better than Superman, if you ask me. Web gym material. More from this one a little later. Over to the pitch. Check out this goal from Angelo State's Cindy Rodriguez from way outside the box. That shot helped the Bells to a 5-0 win over A&M International. ASU finished the regular season 7-0 and as division champs. Back to Foster Field for number 2. Speaking of web gyms, how about this from Trent Baker? Gets the out at first. This Rams team, known for their high-powered offense, showed last week that their defense is also pretty good. Baker ranks 3rd in the conference in ERA, 4th in strikeouts. He's the Rams ace for a reason. And our top play of the week, ASU volleyball going for its 2nd straight LSC championship, and this seals the deal on that. Lindsay Ledyard to Elsa Lampier. The Bells battle back from a 2-set deficit against 12th-ranked UT Tyler. Angelo State wins the conference title, and that emotion says it all. Congrats to Chuck Waddington and the Bells volleyball team. And speaking of the Bells volleyball team, put your hands together for this week's Player of the Week. Redshirt junior Kaylin Gilbreth was not only named LSC Tournament MVP, but she also earned the AVCA National Division II Player of the Week award. The right side hitter recorded 14 kills, 14 assists, and 11 digs in the Bells semifinal win over Kingsville. She then followed up that performance with a game-high 23 kills and 10 digs in the LSC title game. Well-deserved. Kaylin Gilbreth, this week's Player of the Week. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Season Pass. We'll be right back here next week at the same time on Sunday at 10:35 p.m. If you want to catch all of our content as well, and you can't watch the newscast, you can always watch a rerun of the show on ConchoValleyHomepage.com, along with all the highlights, scores, featured stories, as well as news and weather. Again, thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I hope everyone had a fabulous Easter Sunday. We'll be back next week. Good night, Concho Valley.
Closed captioning for the hearing impaired is sponsored by the Law Office of Rick DeHoyas.